on Saudi websites. I have a friend who is a great scholar of Arabic and Islam. Did I lose? No, still hear me? And he told me of one of the great French scholars on Islam who went to a conference on the Quran in Morocco. And even Muslims will admit that, I mean, there are grammatical errors and things in the Quran that, I mean, you'd think God would know grammar. And the French scholar was saying to the Moroccan Muslim scholar, well, look, this part of the Quran, what it says here, no one has ever been able to understand this. And the Muslim response was, I know. That proves it's from God. If God is incomprehensible, some of the things he says should be incomprehensible.
It appears to me that from their perspective, there is no responsibility for anything.
Is there? Well, that's a very interesting question because in the Quran, there are two very clear veins. One is that God is going to hold you responsible for what you've done, and the other is that he's already decreed what you're going to do. So as Ibn Taymiyyah wrote, creatures cannot affect God because it's God who creates their acts. So you're left with this anomaly, this kind of schizophrenia of you're being held accountable for something that he may be doing. Now, but you see what you're doing is you're applying these Mutazilite categories of that wouldn't be just, or as if God is subject to your conception of justice. Whatever he does is just. There's the famous saying in the Republic, Plato's Republic by Thrasymachus, right is the rule of the stronger. Which, of course, we all think is, well, whoever is the most powerful gets to tell people what to do. But that's not what is meant in Islam. This is raised to a theological level. That right is the rule of the stronger, God is the strongest, so whatever he does is right. Whatever. It's not subject to any of these categories that you are mentioning.
Bob, riddle me this, if you would.
Is this the Asherite agitator, Raymond,
That's
over
me.
here?
So we have this omnipotent God, Allah, right, who writes everything in someone's future. But is it his habit, or is it that he's monolingual? Why is it only in Arabic?
Bila kaifa, without asking. But it is in Arabic, and because of their conception of the Quran, if you are a Muslim, you, as you probably know, first of all, you'll have an Arabic name, and you have to pray in Arabic. So you have hundreds of millions of people around the world who are not Arabic, who pray in Arabic, who memorize the Quran in Arabic, and have absolutely no idea of what they're saying. And this all goes back to the idea that Arabic is God's language.
This leads into another question, and that is, to what extent is this belief system universal among Muslims, including, for example, the ex-Soviet republics?
Excellent, sir. Everyone hear that one? I have been these 2 evenings speaking to you exclusively about Sunni Islam. Sunni Islam is the majority of Islam. It's 85-90% of the Muslim world. And I've been talking within that of the majority theological school, the Asherite school. So I'm talking about the majority of the majority. And that covers most especially the Arabic world, South Asia, Pakistan, places like that. Now there are other theological schools, the Maturidite, and so forth, that have simply less influence. And it is the Asherite school that since the Middle Ages has decisively formed certainly Arab culture and most Islamic culture. And that's why it's dysfunctional.
The caliphate has always puzzled me. What is or was it? Does it exist anywhere? If not, why not?
What was the caliphate? The caliphate was the form of Islamic rule based upon this radical monotheism and the one people, the Ummah, gathered under the rubric of the one Allah, to be ruled then by the Caliph, who was God's shadow on earth. And the Caliphate, as I mentioned, started in Saudi Arabia. The first four caliphs, referred to as the righteous ones, before the Umayyads moved it to Damascus, and then the Abbasids created Baghdad. And on and off the Caliphate existed until 1924, when Kemal Ataturk abolished it. And this sent the Muslim world into a state of shock. And in reaction to it, in 1928, the Muslim Brotherhood was founded, as were other Islamist organizations dedicated to the restoration of the Caliphate. The fact that it doesn't exist threw Muslims into as much of a quandary as we Roman Catholics might be if Rome disappeared, if the Pope wasn't there. So it's really agitated them a great deal. And since the idea of reform in Islam is always going back, because Allah said to Muhammad in Medina, "This is the best community." That means they have their model, and they must somehow try to replicate that society then, which would mean a caliphate. Thank you very much. It's been wonderful to be with you.
Thank you very much.
We hope you enjoyed this presentation from the Institute of Catholic Culture. If you'd like to learn more about the mission of the Institute and how you may become a part of this important work, please visit our website at www.instituteofcatholicculture.org or call us at 540-635-7155. And may the glory of Christ Church be ever more manifest upon the earth. St. John the Evangelist, pray for us.